Imagine fighting a war where both sides celebrate victory. In September 1965, something strange happened in South Asia. India and Pakistan fought a brutal 3-week war. And somehow, both countries came home celebrating. Newspapers in Delhi ran victory headlines. Newspapers in Karachi ran victory headlines too. Soldiers on both sides received medals for winning. 60 years later, ask an Indian who won the war, and they'll answer without hesitating. Ask a Pakistani the same question, and you'll get the opposite answer, just as fast. 2 countries, 1 war, 2 completely different memories of who came out on top. The roots of it go back to Kashmir, the mountainous region both nations had claimed since partition in 1947. Pakistan believed Kashmir's Muslim-majority population belonged with them. India refused to give up territory it considered constitutionally its own. By the summer of 1965, tensions reached a breaking point. Pakistan launched Operation, sending thousands of armed infiltrators across the ceasefire line, hoping to trigger an uprising among Kashmiris against Indian rule. The operation failed to trigger the large-scale uprising Pakistan had anticipated. Indian forces detected the infiltration, and within weeks, the conflict spiraled far beyond Kashmir's borders. Tanks rolled across the Punjab desert in what became one of the largest armored battles since World War II. Air forces clashed overhead. Ground troops pushed into each other's territory near Lahore and Sialkot. Then, after 17 days, it just stopped. The United Nations pushed through a ceasefire. Soviet mediators later brokered a formal peace agreement in Tashkent. Neither army had captured the other's capital. Neither government had collapsed. No one signed an unconditional surrender. On paper, the war ended roughly where it started, a rare, genuinely ambiguous result. And that ambiguity is exactly what let both sides claim victory. Pakistan's argument focused on scale. Their military was smaller, less equipped, facing a much larger neighbor, and they'd fought India to a standstill instead of losing outright. In Pakistani textbooks and military lore, that became proof of superior training and courage against the odds. India's argument focused on territory and outcome. Indian forces had pushed further into Pakistani territory than Pakistan managed to push into Indian territory. Pakistan's original objective, sparking a Kashmiri revolt and seizing the region, had completely failed. To India, stopping that plan cold was the victory, regardless of who held more ground when the shooting ended. Neither version is entirely false. Neither is entirely complete. Both are built from real facts, cherry-picked to support a conclusion decided in advance. That's usually how national war memory works. Governments rarely write history the way accountants balance a ledger. They choose the facts that explain the sacrifice, justify the cost, and strengthen national identity. Over time, those facts become textbooks, then documentaries, then collective memory. They decide what story keeps morale up, justifies the cost in lives, and looks best in the next day's papers. And then that story gets repeated in schools, films, and military parades until it simply becomes what happened. The 1965 war didn't just produce a ceasefire line. It produced 2 parallel histories, taught to 2 generations of children who grew up a few hundred kilometers apart, each certain their side had won. Maybe the question was never who won the war. Maybe the real question is this: who got to define what victory looked like?